They call these dying lands the Divide, a bitter waste born from a terrible disaster. Only scavenger tribes remain. All hopes rest with those who undertake a perilous journey. Guided by an arcane prophecy, they seek salvation among the ruins. None have succeeded. And yet, again, one of the tribe's youngest has volunteered for the voyage. Abby's canoe runs aground upon the deserted shore. She adjusts the dials on her crude comms unit.
I've reached the other side. It feels haunted.
You are entering the Divide, Abby. The tombland of a dead people. You'll find many echoes of their downfall. Be careful. There is danger in the ruins. Others went before, believing the same. The Divide takes much from those who enter. But only those humbled by their ordeals can broker peace with the gods. Hurry now.
The channel clicks off. Abby begins her march across the Divide's deadlands. She had endured the blackened water for many hours in this. She had endured the blackened water for many hours in this scramble. She had endured the black... An old vessel rots on the shore, left behind by those who had gone before her and never returned. defense systems had clearly outlasted those whom they were built to defend. Abby resumes her progress. With every step, she feels her Elohim powers grow. They call these dying lands the Divide, a bitter waste born from a terrible... They call these dying lands the Divide, a bitter waste born from a terrible disaster. Only scavenger tribes remain. All hope. Abby's canoe runs aground upon the deserted shore. She adjusts the dials on her crude comms unit.
I've reached the other side. It feels haunted.
You are entering the Divide, Abby. The tombland of a dead people. You'll find many echoes of their downfall. Be careful. There is danger in the ruins.
I'm ready for it, Amitai.
Others went before, believing the same. The Divide But only those humbled by their ordeals can broker peace.
The channel clicks off. Abby begins her march across the Divide's deadlands. She had endured the blackened water for many hours in this scrap-whittled canoe. An old vessel rots on the shore. An old vessel rots on the shore. An old vessel. The defense systems had clearly Abby resumes. The defense systems had clearly Abby resumes her progress. The elders warned Abby about the vicious guardians. Despite her powers, it is not easy to control them. The cliff tops ahead echo with more anguished shrieks. They call these dying lands the Divide, a bitter waste born from a terrible disaster. Abby's canoe runs aground upon the deserted shore. She adjusts the dials on her crude comms unit.
You are entering the Divide, Abby. The tombland of a dead people. You'll find many echoes of their downfall. Be careful. There is danger in the ruins.
I'm ready for it, Anatai.
Others went before, believing the same. The Divide takes much from those who enter. But only those humbled by their ordeals can broker peace with the gods.
The channel clicks off. Abby begins her march across the Divide's deadlands. She had endured the blackened water for many hours in this. An old vessel rots on the shore. The defense systems had clearly out. Abby resumes her. The elders warned Abby about the cliff tops ahead. The wind beats against a withered tree rising from the cliff edge. Its prominent outline the wind, its prominent out. Abby's comms unit emits a sharp crackle. For the first time in days, she hears her father's voice.
I can't push the fear from my mind, Abby.
Don't worry, Father. My powers are stronger now than when I left. I'll resist the god's toll.
I hope you're right. Those who went all that their minds held was taken from them in the divide. The gods showed no mercy.
The strongest must attempt the crossing. There's no other way.
I always feared you would volunteer one day. After Isaac left, you became so focused on your...
My... Isaac is...
It was always hard for you to speak about him.
Abby stifles a tear. Vast structure before Abby awes her, and in its steps, Abby wonders what. The vast structure, its steps, Abby wonders what's.
first of the sacred monoliths follow their waypoints to the home of the vengeful gods.
None of the others made it that far.
None mastered the Elohim.
Not even Isaac.
He was strong like you, but
It still wasn't enough. He didn't make it.
you must not allow grief to distract you, Abby. Hurry.
Amitai suspends the comms transmission. Abby surveys the damaged hangar, plotting her traversal. Balancing her footing, every rupture. Balancing her footing, every rupture. Again, Abby feels the uneasy effects of the rock totems, the throbbing pain at the... Again, Abby feels the throbbing pain at the... An imposing monolith, Abby approaches the hallowed form. Slowly, she reads the script etched into its facade.
The peace had lasted for millennia. It had been so long that the humans began to forget the immense power of the gods watching over them. Then, deep within the ground, the Oblion was discovered. The Oblion offered the humans what they had always wanted most, a life without death. The Oblion crystals were the ancient remains of the gods' ancestors. But the humans, encouraged by its intoxicating power, ignored this warning. They seized the Oblion for their own ends.
Abby absorbs the monolith's test. A vision of it swells, and she tries not to think of.
The peace had lasted for millennia. It had been so long that the humans began to
Abby examines the detritus of. Abby examines the detritus of a. Abby, the detritus of a. Abby, the detritus. An earth-torn its jagged edges. An earth-torn its jagged edges. An earth-torn its jagged. A large rock fragment embedded. A large rock fragment. Abby's thoughts turn again to her father. She tries breathing heavily. She fumbles for her comms unit and dials the on.
Abby, are you hurt?
No, I was scared. It's starting. I felt it.
They reach inside to claim their toll. Now hurry. Every second in the divide comes at a...
Rusted sign beyond it. A rusted sign beyond it. A rusted sign beyond it. Scorch marks. Abby squints to... Scorch marks obscure the sign's lettering. Abby squints. Like all ruins, like all ruins, it speaks of the mortality of those who once imagined them. Abby's comms handset emits a tinny...
Your comms fall silent, my child.
The gods leave pain intact.
The gods don't separate pain from...
I waited outside while he spoke with the elders. After...
We are not a lucky people, Abby. Those who are strongest have a duty.
Ezra speaks, but Abby... She knows the Divide's tomblands contain the ruins of those who had lost a war with the gods. But seeing the twisted metal and torn earth... Faint letters scratched upon the abandoned vehicle. The words read... Faint letters scratched. The words read... Reeling from the exertion of combat, Abby tries to catch her ragged breath. The crackle of an incoming signal.
2 years have passed, Abby. Isaac's crossing the...
We could have rescued him.
The others are weak. No match for the Divide. Those like you and Isaac are special. I have known only a few who could endure such trials.
We didn't even try.
Look around, child. Do you not see? The Divide is the tombland of those who betrayed the god. It is left to us to atone.
Feeling a sudden sense of urgency, Abby suspends the comm stream and continues to walk. Her steps slow as she, like the previous one, its facade features...
The humans' machinery ripped the Oblian from the ground. The gods observed and debated their response. The twins, Or and Ot, swore deathly vengeance on the humans. Their younger brother, List, advocated mercy. A quarrel broke out among the gods. Or and Ot hacked List down and cast his body across the human lands he had sought to protect. Thereafter, they unleashed a vengeful rage upon the helpless humans. Ruin and suffering spread through all the lands the humans once called their home.
She follows the tunnels of the derelict complex downwards. Every step takes her nearer to the heart of the calamity. Vast weapons point to the skies. Abby imagines a defense which had only stoked the gods' wrath further. She envies the gods. They have someone to punish, somewhere to direct their rage. Isaac left 2 years ago, but the rage burned inside her as much as ever. Above the door is an inscription. It reads, "Let us cast the sorrow of loss from this world forever." Oblian grants the wish. Above the door, Oblian grants.
Do not allow grief to sap your strength, Abby.
I don't...
There is always a seed, Abby. A memory that holds what is most precious. Do you remember the old tree?
Yes.
On clear days, we could see it on the horizon. You were fascinated by what was on the other.
I remember.
That is my kernel, Abby. Find what is precious inside. Guard it. Only that will save you from oblivion.
Abby repacks her comms unit and resumes. Above the door is an Oblian. Above the door is an Oblian. Above the door, Oblian. Faint indicator. The steel door is marked. Undying rage torments the Guardian's mind. She identifies something of herself in their vengeful fury. Abby's comms meter detects a weak signal trace ahead. Confused, she turns her attention to the crucible chamber ahead. The bumbling critter has made a refuge. The faded lettering identifies the former owner as Abby inserts the keycard into the receiver. One of the displays emits a low light. The words "Deep Sleep Mode" blink across the screen. Abby touches a hand to the visualizer.
This should have been the most cherished day in our species' history. The discovery of the last missing element, Oblivion. Many lifetimes, but none of our theories could have predicted its power. The universe saved the best. The Oblivion promised us what we so desperately wanted. We could finally cast off our mortality. Our lives would span centuries and millennia. We could attain the wisdom and experience of gods. The temptation was too great. Now the Oblivion has brought us here. Punishment. I fear this war.
Abby's hands tramp most of the other. One of the displays emits.
This should have been the discovery of the that none of our theories could have predicted. The Oblivion we could finally we could attain the now the Oblivion has brought us.
Abby's hands tramp most of the other. Abby activates the refueling switch. A low, guttural hum emanates from deep within the facility as the pump motor initiates. Steady vibrations drum upwards through the facility's steel strip. The console display now reads, "Refuel successful. Awaiting." The engine's steady hum blankets the vast cabin. A scanner again picks up a phantom trace.
My scanner has a fault. It's picking up a faint signal ahead. Short range.
It's not a malfunction, Abby.
She knew her father's voice. She knew instantly something was wrong.
The units have a black box mode. Those aren't lives. If a carrier doesn't survive, the units transmit their internal logs on a short-range frequency.
Carrier?
They could be his, from his final days.
Isaac.
You'll know once you are near enough to decode the contents. I only wanted to protect...
You hid this.
Isaac is gone. Hearing his voice for a few seconds, your grief would have drawn you into the divide sooner, my child. You weren't ready.
Abby suspends the transmission. She thinks of the foolish souls who built this stretch. She wonders. The train's gears grind to a halt. Abby looks around at the ruin of an Oblivion mine. The crates are labeled tunnel blasting kit. Abby searches the area to see if she can scavenge something useful. The crates are labeled tunnel. The crates are labeled. The Guardians seem to be drawn to these. Abby wonders if... dying shriek from within her satchel.
The black box recordings are only fragments.
I can't explain it. Even an echo.
The tomblands of the Divide are no place for one distracted by grief. Stay focused, Abby.
I need to keep moving.
Abby suspends that she no longer knows what... The rock's hallowed form. Again, the object's surface is...
Bloodlust surged as the vengeful god-twins pursued their ruthless justice. The skies darkened with a devastating bombardment, spreading ruin through all the humans had built. The vicious guardians of the Oblion were unleashed to rip apart the flesh of the humans. Worst of all, the gods decided to take from the humans that which they cherished most. They took away the humans' ability to learn and understand themselves and their world. The memories of all they had known would slowly be lost. Soon, the annihilation was complete.
The rock tunnels take her back to the surface. The gods have reaped a tyrant's justice. Their brutality is a riddle. She no longer counts her steps. Abby surveys the hazards strewn across the scorched swamplands, squinting into the foggy horizon. Deep within the distant... Abby surveys the hazards deep within the distant... Abby notices more sentry turrets ahead, artifacts of a lost ground war with the Guardians. Ahead lies another battlefield relic. Everywhere she looks, Abby sees evidence of the human's fatal misjudgment. Sharing the Guardian's mind still unsettles Abby. Now she understands. In their opaque minds, they know something precious has been taken. Abby scans the terrain. Elevated walkways crisscross the... Abby scans the terrain. Elevated walkways beyond it. Abby scans the beyond it. Abby's heart pounds as her scanner indicates another phantom signal. She initiates the connection.
I must accept it. My transmitter can't be repaired. I've had no contact with the others. I don't know if anyone will ever hear these words. It matters not. Talking, even to myself, helps. Alone, I could not resist.
She hasn't heard his voice, for she wonders how many more. Abby peers into the murky water below. For just a second, she allows herself to think of it. Imagining his return, the pain comes. Abby peers into the imagining his the pain. Abby imagining the pain. Abby notices the eerie glow of an artificial. The cabin is littered with scavenged debris. A piece of battered...
List has been annihilated. We gathered on rooftops in the darkness without List's protection. With List's colossal remain, but Orin or continue to injustice. Guilt my people never, the Oblian promise. We've reaped a horror.
Abby's thoughts race. She has never... The cabin is littered with a piece...
List has been annihilated. We gathered on rooftops in the darkness without List's protection. List's colossal remain, but Orin or continue to injustice. Guilt my people never, the Oblian we've reaped a horror.
Abby's thought she has... The crane holds a... The startled creature. Abby peers into, imagining his... Abby unlocks the crane controls. The vessel climbing in. Abby... Heavy, blackened, the magnitude of... Heavy, blackened boat, the magnitude of the... Heavy, the magnitude.
are weak, Abby. News,
I am close, Amatai.
the conditions of your...
Not yet. I'm not alone. It's as the prophecy foretold.
None have been...
Abby's eye, she realizes from its epicenter. Abby's eye traces the outline. She realizes from its epicenter. From the crater's fissured center, like a tombstone, it anchors a world which has passed within the one that...
The humans' weapons were useless against the mighty gods. Eventually, they realized only their atonement would satiate the gods' endless rage. Countless tributes and sacrifices were brought to Nadar Mountain, the home of the gods, but all were rejected. The humans despaired. They knew not what to offer to move the gods to restore their dead lands back to life. The gods laughed. They knew that only one who truly understood the meaning of loss could deliver that which they secretly demanded.
Abby recoils, struggling to keep pace with her racing. The divide's road. The gods punish. Oblivion circle lists for... Abby surveys her surroundings. The vast outline of Nadar Mountain rises from the mists ahead. Abby surveyed. Abby surveyed. The plains ahead are riddled deep within the. The plains ahead are deep within the plains ahead are deep within the unending. The plains ahead are riddled with deep within the unending. Reaching for her comms unit, Abby is surprised to find a small carving of a. She tweaks the dial.
Tell me of your...
This wasteland is...
Your voice.
There is Oblion in these craters.
Your words.
We must show that we accept what those...
I see now. Hurry.
The comm stream. Abby's pulse quickens as her scanner alerts her to another of Isaac's phantom signals.
I've lost almost everything. Saying goodbye to her, better to leave believing it wasn't forever.
The recordings end. Some items lie scattered across the small clearing. Abby notices Isaac's satchel among them. Again, she thinks of his leaving. Her gaze had tracked his shrinking silhouette as it slipped over them. She finds his comms.
In the darkness, I still imagine it, perhaps. Not all wounds can be healed. God's fury teaches us what only the foolish forget. Some things not even a lifetime.
The fierce winds inside. Abby's steps crunch on the gritstone.
Those shattered souls which endured continued to search for. They huddled but the god years passed.
Abby's eye, their edges are... The air grows thinner as she climbs. The divide takes for a second. Only the guardian... path ahead, two giants. The path ahead, two giant suns cast a duel of light and
so many.
I am close, Emma.
All around you is that perhaps.
Abby returns the comms unit to her satchel. Only a few pages. Abby's shallow breath quickens. Within her mind, the dark floods rise further still. Abby's shallow breath within her mind, the An incoming signal. The source is unfamiliar to Abby. Accepting it, she is startled by a strange voice.
I only wanted to keep you close. Forgive me.
Who?
No, it cannot be. Listen to my voice, Abby.
I can't
Look in your pack. There is a kernel, a seed. I put it there for this moment.
The panic in the stranger's voice scares her. Confused, she searches her pack for that of which he speaks. Her hand fumbles upon the tree carving she found earlier. As she studies, images slowly return. She remembers
It's working.
It worked for now, my child, but you cannot deny the gods their toll forever. You near a place from which you may not return. It is what I have always feared.
I'll fight it a little longer.
Abby resumes her march. In her, the trinket is now her only anchor. This monolith is different, and yet, like the others, the form running her hand across the cold stone, Abby finally understands. This is the wound she must repair.
The toll has taken almost everything from me. All that remains is a plea, a gesture of atonement.
The slab before her is an altar, expectant of her offering, squinting into the blinding light.
I am here to beg vengeful gods to restore this ravaged land back to life.
Suddenly, the core of the Oblian orb.
The vengeful rage of the gods finally exhausts its purpose. Their condition is met. The humans acquiesce to the god law they had tried to evade. The Oblian, the atonement is a promise not to run, but to face that which pushes at their backs. The gods are satisfied.
She pauses for a second, her feverish mind.
But the gods do not restore the world which has been lost. They decide that now the humans shall make their own world. Only then the guardians fall back, and the toll upon
The script momentarily appears complete.
the gods decide that she, who delivered when reunited with those left behind for the remainder of her days,
Not all that passes leaves its secrets waiting to be discovered inside a black box. But if those who yielded these ruins had done so, what would we have found inside? Oblion, the last undiscovered element, was finally isolated in 2191. As had been predicted, it possessed unique properties. Not only could it arrest cell decay in most living organisms, raising the prospect of limitless lifespans, in some, it also enhanced the neural networks for empathetic interaction with other living creatures, giving basic telekinetic control over simple animals. Uriah Joyce, upon its discovery, famously remarked, "Only Oblion separated mankind from the gods, until now." But the planet's reserve was finite, just enough to sow the seeds of ruin. The search for more turned to the heavens. The planet's shielding moon, List, contained further reserves. Competition turned to conflict. The extraction effort, known as the Lazarus Project, was a catastrophe. Blasting triggered a chain reaction, fissuring the moon into millions of fragments. List's shattered remains were pulled in by the human planet's gravity, causing an apocalyptic bombardment. List's position was the cosmic accident that offered the humans their chance of life. Without it, they were directly exposed to their galaxy's twin suns, Or and Odd, forces far beyond their control. Solar radiation ravaged their minds, taking all knowledge and memory from them. The Guardians, a fierce species existing on List for millennia, also lost their home. Revenge was their only solace. Only a few primitive human collectives endured, taking shelter in deep cave formations known as the Enclaves. In the end, no living thing breaks free from the silent black hole pull of death's nothingness. From a life's first second, its event horizon already lies behind it. The Oblion was the universe's most dangerous gift, a false mirage of escape from the sorrows of loss. The epitaph of a civilization cannot easily be contained in a few short words. Shortly before his death, Uriah Joyce remarked, "Forgetting the pain of loss, we lost sight of what is most precious. Those who follow us will have to relearn the lesson."
I've reached the other side. It feels haunted.
You are entering